Hey, it's me, TB, and today I'm going to be doing my wrap-up for October. Yeah, October. In the month of October, I read 20 books, so yay! I'm going to go ahead and start with the books I have physical copies of, because this month was a lot of like ebooks and shit, so I don't have physical copies of them, of course. First up is The Crucible by Arthur Miller. This is a play about the Salem witch trials, and I read this for Spookathon, I think. It's been like a few weeks, I don't remember anything anymore. So, about the witch trials in Salem, and it is a play, not like a novel. It's like there are like, it's written like a play. I'm pretty sure I gave this 5 stars again, because I really liked it. In the beginning I wasn't sure, because it just felt weird to read, I guess. But once I got like a few pages in, I was set and I was fine. I don't have a lot to like say about this because it's a play, so like there's not like a lot of meat to the story. It's about like explaining anything else beyond like it's about the Salem witch trials. It's gonna like spoil shit for you, and I really like this, so I mean you should all read it. Next for Spookathon, I read Don't Look Back by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This was, I think, 3 stars for me, probably lower actually, and I gave it 3 stars just to be nice. Yeah, so this was 3 stars. I don't remember what this is about, because I read another YA thriller, which was Truly Madly Deadly. Like these books I read back to back. They kind of like blend together, so I don't remember the plot of either of them very well. So let me just read this real fast. Okay, I remember this one. I remember the twist and everything. Okay, so this one, a girl goes missing, and she vanished with one of her best friends, but they actually like hated each other on the DL, but no one knew that really. So her friend vanishes, and she comes back, and she shits the fan because she has amnesia and she wants to find her friend, but people are like, you shouldn't worry about it, she's probably dead, fuck it, who cares? Basically, like, our main character before the accident was like a total bitch, but now she's like nice again, which I have questions about, because I don't think that's how like personalities work. Yeah, she was like attacked in the woods. I don't think it's gonna cause like a massive personality shift like that. Also, there was like a questionable description of like non-white people in here. I think I have that on I took a picture of it and put it on my Twitter, so like if I find the tweet I will link it down below. But yeah, it was a questionable description of someone that wasn't white. Then I'd be like that it did not read appropriate for like 2019. This was written in like 2013, 2014. It's not old at all, it's just did not age very well at all. I think the big twist at the end was also very shit. I did not enjoy it very much. I mean, it makes sense, but I just didn't like it. It did not land with me at all. And the ending was so like positive, and the entire book is very negative. And like the way the book framed it, if the ending were to happen, the actual ending wouldn't be as happy. Like the epilogue would not be as happy as the book tells you would be, and you just know that the epilogue does not sit right with you at all. I liked like 90% of it, but again, like the ending was just questionable, and there were times where like our main character didn't feel like an actual teenager, because like she was a bitchy mean girl, but then she was like, that's so mean of me, but you're like 16, so you don't have like the capability to understand that being bitchy is bad yet, because your brain is still like forming shit. Like, you don't understand how horrible you are until you're like 18 or so, and she's like maybe 16, I think. She's 16, 17, she's some age that's still pretty young. Who cares? I liked the cast of characters, but I just didn't care for the book. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get rid of it too, because I just don't ever think I'm going to read it again. Like, it was okay. I didn't overwhelmingly enjoy any part of it. Next is Truly Madly Deadly by Hannah Jane. I liked the idea of this, but again, the final twist just did not sit right with me. And this book uses is like predominantly white and straight. Like the one character that isn't straight is the killer, So it's not like that's like a really shitty trope to use in like, again, like 2013, 2014. So yeah, I did not like the ending of this. This is about a girl whose boyfriend dies in a car accident, and she finds a note in her locker telling that she's welcome for killing him because they knew that their relationship wasn't perfect or whatever. There's like more notes and shit, but again, I just didn't like the idea of it. And this book dealt with like a step parent that was vilified, and like the people talked as if she was a massive bitch in the book. But like when we met her, she was nice. Like she offered to like make our main character breakfast and dinner, but the main character is always like, no, I don't want it. So I just never saw the step parent being evil as the book tries to tell you that she is. And like they're like the main character and her stepmother don't like each other, but it's never shown why, because it just doesn't make sense, because they're both nice to each other all the time. So I just didn't get that at all. And like the main character talks about her stepmom as if she's some like weird lady, but she's normal. Like there's nothing weird about her. Like she has an herb garden, and I was like, that sounds cool to me. I don't get why you're so angry about it. So yeah, this is like 3 stars. Gonna get rid of this too because again, it was okay. I didn't love it. I think this one had a very forced romance too. Well, I mean, this one was also kind of forced, but like this one was more like wholesome to me. But yeah, Truly Madly Deadly's romance was very forced. I'm gonna read more by Hannah Jane just because I feel like there's a lot of potential in this, and I liked it up until the big reveal. Then it was very like corny. I was like, this is really bad. I don't like this. So I'm gonna read more by her. If she wrote any more thrillers. But yeah, this book I don't recommend. You start with her backlog of books because it's just not the greatest. The last physical book I read this month, I started on like October 3rd. I didn't finish until like October 28th or something. And I think this book is the reason why I was in like a really bad like physical reading slump for like most of October. And that is The Dragon and Other Stories by Yevgeny Zamyatin. I liked this a lot when I finished it. I gave this 4 stars. The only reason it wasn't 5 stars is because some of the short stories in this are very fucking long. And like when you read collections like this, you kind of want to like read a story in like a burst and then be done with it. The stories in here are like 40 plus pages long, and they're like not complicated, but they're very like you can feel the longness in them, and I liked them. I liked most stories in here. I'm not gonna like list all the ones I liked because I listed them all on my Goodreads review of this, so you can just go on my Goodreads, which is linked in the description below, and just read that yourself. So this is a collection of like short stories. Yevgeny Zamyatin was a Russian writer in the early 20th century, the 1910s, teens, and then to the 1920s. So these stories are kind of like from those 2 decades. Let me look and see which I really remember liking. Okay, I remember liking The Flood. I remember liking that one a lot because it's like a murder that happens. I remember liking The Lion. The Miracle of Ash Wednesday was good. The Healing of the Novice Erasmus was really good. I think I liked The North. I liked The North. And most of them was kind of like meh. Like the first one's really long is A Provincial Tale. That one's close to like 70 pages and it's not. I liked it, and I get the point that I was trying to make with it, but I didn't think it was the best by any means. It was okay. It was good, and I do recommend it, but just fair warning, some of the short stories are very long, so you might want to like either like skip those until later, or like just set aside time to binge read them so they're like done. But yeah, I really liked it. It was 4 stars. Now on to the portion of this where I talk about like 12 books at once because it was all part of a manga series, and that was Claymore by Norihiro Yagi. This is a dark fantasy series about, okay, so there are like these monsters called, I think they're called Yomi. I don't remember because it's been like a few weeks since I last read. These monsters called Yomi that like attack and kill people, and the claymores are sent to kill the Yomi, and the claymores are like half Yomi, half human, so they have like they're really strong and can like lift their giant swords, which are like the claymores, which is like a type of sword. The claymores are all women because like there's like an explanation in this, but I'm not going to spoil that for you because I really like the explanation, so it's like really good. There's like a plot reason why they're all women, but again, I don't want to spoil that for you. I read 12 volumes of this. They're like 27, I think, so I'll probably read the rest of them this month so I can like boost my book reading count. I'm not going to talk about like them all individually because they're like manga volumes are like very like connected, so you can't really like talk about one that's one of the other ones, so I can't really talk about them that much. They were all basically 5 stars because I liked them all. I think there's one that was 4 stars, and that was because it was more like talking than like action, was like cutting monsters in half. So meh. I will go ahead and warn you though, like this is very gory. Like monsters get cut in half a lot. The claymores lose like arms and legs a lot. Claymores die a lot. It's very like death and like gore, not like gore heavy, but people do get like cut in half a lot. So like if like gore might affect you negatively, I don't recommend you read this at all. It is a manga, so it's from like Japan, and the writer is like a Japanese man. So women are portrayed pretty well by like Japanese standards, but there are like a few questionable elements that exist for some reason. But overall, it's one of the better representations of women from Japan. So there you go. To kind of like give you more like a world building about it, to like make it more interesting, because I don't know how interesting like girls with swords kill monsters can be for you. But like because they're half monster, half human, if they like push themselves too hard, they can become a monster and like start killing people too. So like part of the story is like trying to push yourself to like kill a monster without pushing yourself too far that you become one yourself, which is interesting to me. There's also like a world building element where like if you feel you're about to become a monster, you can like send a letter to one of your friends to come and kill you before you become a monster, so you like die as a human, which is very like I just really like that world building like tidbit. I don't know why I just really like that as like a concept, I guess. I do really like the monster designs in this. The normal Yomi are very like normal like generic monsters, but like okay, spoiler, a few claymores do become monsters and they have to like fight them too. But like the designs for the claymores turned monsters are like so fucking beautiful. They're fucking great. I love them so much. Yeah, I like this series. There's also an anime about it. The anime has a different ending because the manga wasn't done when it was made. So I think the anime ends like around volume 10. So there is like a completely different ending than what the manga ends on, I'm pretty sure. So if you would rather watch like an anime, it's like 27 episodes, I think. Or like 22. Who knows? I don't fucking know. They're like, it's not that long for an anime, so you can just binge watch it if you want. So now on to all of the NetGalley arcs I was given for review. Don't want to affect how I talk about them because I think a lot of them were like 3 stars this month, or last month I mean. So this isn't going to affect my review at all. First off was Lock Me In by Kate Cement. I give this 4 stars, and there's like a very questionable trope used in it that I don't really approve of, but it's used, so there's nothing I can really do about it. It was okay. I didn't like the... Was there a love interest in this? I don't think so. I don't remember a lot of this book because it's been like over a month since I read it, but it was 4 stars, I think. It was good for a thriller. It wasn't like overly action-packed, and I feel like you can guess who the main villain is very early on, and it's more about the journey of our main character kind of like figuring that out themselves, and like coming to that realization that like that is the journey you're on. It is dual POV, so like one POV is from like a police detective who's investigating the case, and one is from our main character who has a mental illness. I think it's called like, I shouldn't call it an illness, but she has a condition called dissociative identity disorder, and that's where the bad trope comes in, because the trope is that she doesn't actually have it. I will go ahead and just tell you that right now, because it's very like shitty. It's a very shitty trope. It's very like harmful. So yeah, that's a fucking trope. It is that she doesn't actually have it. It's just like a lie. So, and it's like, it feels very obvious that she doesn't have it because you never see it come into play throughout the entire book. You're just told that it did. So, yeah. I remember a lot about this. I think the main character's boyfriend goes missing. She's worried that she killed him because she killed her best friend in like one of her episodes, I think it's called. And the police detective's on the case, and he was on the case when her friend was killed back then, I mean. So yeah, there is like some like pedophilia in this, so warning. There might be some like things reminiscent of self-harm, so warning on that. The police is Asian, I think, so it's like technically diverse, but the writer is white, I'm pretty sure. And there are like a few points where you could like tell that the writer was white writing an Asian person. There's like a few things that he says that just doesn't line up with how I feel an Asian man might think. I don't go into like specifics about that, but there are a few like questionable moments in the story. So yeah, that was locking me in. Remember fucking anything about it. Next up is Mainly by Moonlight, which is written by Josh Lannion, which is a woman writing under a male pen name because this is a male-male romance. This is about a witch who gets framed for a murder of another witch, I think. And it's like a lot of fucking drama. But what you need to know is that a witch is framed for murder, and our main character is getting married to like the head police investigator dude. It's some like position he got elected to. That's all I fucking know. And like they're in romance together, whatever. The thing is, like, the romance isn't real because they've known each other for like 2 weeks and they're getting married, but they've only been dating for 2 weeks. So that's just not believable at all. Even with Madeline, I just don't believe that a marriage can happen in 2 weeks. It's just like that fact alone made me not give a fuck about the romance the entire book, because I was like 2 weeks. Just make it like 2 months and maybe I could believe it a little bit more, or like a few months, but just 2 weeks, I can't. There's no fucking way. There is a sex scene in this, which I totally skipped because I don't like sex scenes, so I totally skipped it. It's like 10 pages long, so I skipped a lot of pages in this. It was 3 stars for me. I liked the more magical fantasy elements of it. The romance was okay, but there's a twist about the romance which kind of like fucks it up. So I just didn't like it that much either. I was mainly here for like the witch shit, which I really liked. And if we get more like witch shit, I'd be all for it. But there was like a part where like there's like this organization hunting down witches and killing them. Then no one reacts to it very well. Like they're hunting down magical people and killing them, but no one seems to care at all, which confused me. But yeah, that was Mainly by Moonlight. It was 3 stars. I don't not recommend it, but I mean, if you want a male-male romance that's like smutty a little bit, that has like fantasy elements, I guess go for that. Next was my first cozy mystery, which was Cobbler to Death. Couldn't get it, it's a pun. And it was written by Rosemary Ross. This is about a TV chef who is sent to do a competition type show with other like TV chefs, and she's like one of the judges or like announcers or something for it. Who the fuck knows? There's like a competition to find out who's the best chef in America, whatever. And then a murder happens, and then she's like figure out who the murderer is without, and then she's like not a police detective because it's like a cozy mystery. This was my first cozy, so I wasn't sure what to expect from it. It was very optimistically and like cheerful throughout the entire thing, which is weird because someone was like beaten to death on set, so I'm not sure I can be like positive with that when that happens, but whatever. I like the like competition aspects the most because it was just like fun hearing them talk about like the competition. That was fun. There is like I think a love interest building up, but it feels so like rushed, I feel. And there's like a character struggling with something because she has a secret, because her TV show is about her being like some farmer's daughter, but she's actually like some city girl who's been lying the entire time. So yeah, that's like an internal turmoil that she has to face throughout the entire book, and it gets solved. But like, this is like a cozy mystery is like part of a series, you know. It's like if that turmoil is gone, I don't know how the other books are gonna like even function without that turmoil, because it's just gone now. So I don't know. This was 3 stars for me. I'm like constantly torn between whether or not it's actually like 2 stars or 4 stars, because there are times when I'm like, I did really like it. Then there are times when I realize that I didn't like many parts of it. So I'm like, I think 3 stars is a very solid number for it. Then again, I don't read a lot of cozy mysteries. This is like my first one. So maybe I'm just fucking crazy. This is like a great cozy mystery. Who the fuck knows? I guess you should read it for yourself. There was like a thing where like I got a lot of the male characters confused because they're all white men that are like in like similar positions of power. So I was just like confused, being like, they're like 3 men that constantly got confused throughout the entire book, and I had no idea who any of them were. Like when the killer was revealed, and I was like, I have no idea which white guy that is. Is that the one we're trying to fuck? Is that like the bad one? I don't know. I have no idea. Next, from NetGalley, I read a poetry collection called The Lost Arabs by Omar Sakr. I think it's S-A-K-R. I would say Sakir, but that doesn't have an I, so I don't think it's Sakir. Someone's name like Sakr? Sakir, I guess. I have no idea. I don't know how to like talk about poetry, so I'll just tell you it was 4 stars and like parts I really liked about it. I think my main complaint that I remember was that it changes topics very rapidly, and I feel like it would have benefited more if it was like organized into like different sections that talk about different aspects of his life. It's a poetry collection. I can't really like talk about it that much. I enjoyed it a lot. There are more poems that I liked than ones that I didn't like. I feel like the ones that I didn't like were just because I didn't get them. So if you want a poetry collection, there you go. And then the final book I read in the month of October was Human Enough by ESU. This is a fantasy romance between like a vampire and a vampire hunter. I will go ahead and tell you that it focuses more on like the romance aspect than like the vampire aspect. Like it does play a very important element. The overall book is more focused on like the romance between the 2 characters than anything else. I did like the romance, and it's not like a build up to a romance. It's just like the romance is already a thing, and they're kind of like already together. It's like an experience in the romance, I guess, which I liked. And like it was very nice reading something that's like more fluffy than like anything else. The thing is that this was like so fluffy and half that thick. I'm like tapped out in like romance for a while because like it was cute and I liked it, but I don't think I could read a lot of books that are like written like this and too much, because I'd get too bored. But this was like a nice like refresh from everything else I read. You know, books about like the Soviet shit in Russia. You know, girls like dead teen girls. You know, reading about like a normal romance between 2 guys was pretty cool. I did not like the big twist at the end though. I didn't like that at all. I felt like it was very it was not properly foreshadowed in my opinion. And again, it was like a situation where like, you just felt like everything wrapped up too perfectly, I guess, which is like a stupid thing to complain about. You just felt like every plot conflict was wrapped up so perfectly that it just was not. It didn't feel completely realistic to me, which is stupid because it has fucking vampires in it. So of course it's not like realistic, but whatever. It was cute and fluffy, and you want something cute and fluffy between like a cute fluffy romance between 2 men with like light fantasy elements. Here you go. The love interest is, I think, asexual, or like gray asexual, I think, which means like he has some sexual attraction, but not like a lot of it. And I think the writer is also asexual, or maybe just aromantic. Regardless, they are also queer themselves, so it is in own voices too. So there you go. That was all the things that I read in the month of October. half of it was manga, so you know, that was nice. It was an okay reading month. The best part was me reading that much Claymore because I really fucking liked it. Really liked the dragon. Everything was pretty like meh. I liked Crucible too, I guess. I really liked this, but everything else was very like meh. So far November is turning out to be much better than October, so let's hope that continues. And thank you for watching.